Hi, second graders. Today we're going to continue with Knowledge 2, Lesson 2, the Indus River Valley, Part 2. Before we begin our story, we're going to go over our vocabulary words. Our first word for today's story, repeat after me, is bustling. Bustling means full of activity. Our next word is nestles. Say nestles. Nestles means to settle in snugly and comfortably. And our last word is source. Say source. The source means the start or cause of something. For example, the sun is the source of light and heat for planet Earth. Today we're going to travel back in time to meet a child living in Mohenjo-Daro 2,500 years ago. The child's father is a grain trader. Grains are seeds from plant foods, such as wheat, corn, rye, or oats. Wheat from the surrounding fields is stored in a common granary near the citadel, the safe place in the center of the city. The father's job is to collect the grain and take it through the city's gates to a bustling port by the river. There he will trade it for gold, copper, jade, and turquoise from distant lands. Meet Sanjay, the boy in this picture who is waiting excitedly for his father in the courtyard of his family's home. It is a special day for Sanjay. He's waited 9 years for his father's invitation to join him today. Sanjay can hear the bull cart rattling down the side passage now. Then he sees him, the man in the turban. That's Sanjay's father. The turban he wears is a headdress, made of cloth and worn by men in his region. Hop in, son, let's go. Sanjay nestles into the back of the wooden cart, bracing himself against its sides as his father guides the bull out into the main street. He is bathed and put on fresh cotton clothes, for father has promised that after the morning's work, he will be allowed to join the priest in a special ceremony, giving thanks to the mighty Indus River for all that she provides. As the cart jostles Sanjay about with each turn in the road, his thoughts travel back to last spring, when steady rains flooded the river, forcefully breaking through the city walls and toppling buildings in its wake. Sanjay remembers as if it were yesterday, the awful smell of wet mud that filled his home, as he and his sister waded knee-deep in the muck, waiting for the muddy waters to recede or move back away from the city. Sanjay knows from experience that the river has the power to destroy things in its path, and yet he knows too that the river is the source of life in the valley. Without it, there would be no crops for food, no cotton for clothing, and no means of easily transporting goods over long distances. Sanjay's thoughts are interrupted by a sudden jolt of the cart as it takes its place behind the other traders, lined up in front of the city granary. Enormous terracotta pots filled with grain are hoisted into the cart and set down beside him. Sanjay wonders how the wooden wheels beneath him can carry so much weight. Turning to face forward in the cart, Sanjay sits on his knees, straining to sit over the approaching city gates to the sailing ships beyond. As the cart sways to and fro from the weight of the pots, Sanjay's father struggles to edge his way through the throng of bull carts, all heading toward the loud and lively sounds of the harbor. Once there, father exchanges his grain for copper from Mesopotamia, hoping to sell it to the jewelry maker for a good price. The sun is directly overhead now, midday. Father steers the bulls away from the bustling port and comes to a standstill beneath the shade of a willow tree. Sanjay's heart skips a beat. Stepping down and leaning into father's side, Sanjay walks with him toward a grove of banyan trees. Gathered among the cows and men, Sanjay's eye is drawn to the holy man, seated on bare ground in a cross-legged position, head bent in silence. Bowing his head, Sanjay listens to the words that have comforted his people for many years. O great river, mother of the people, provider of life, we thank you. It is now 6 moon cycles since your banks last flooded. We pray that we may please you and be spared from future harm. Your waters give us life. To you we owe our lives. Accept our blessings, great river. A squeeze from father's hand lets Sanjay know that he is proud to bring his son to the sacred spot for the first time. Sanjay answers his squeeze with one of his own, whispering his thanks for this day.